But one thing that Liz Truss has succeeded at is becoming the shortest-serving Prime Minister in British history, with a premiership lasting a grand total of 45 days. Her time in office began with a very difficult start when Queen Elizabeth II died 2 days after she was sworn in as leader of the country. But it was her own leadership style and Trussonomics that would make her the UK's most unpopular Prime Minister. Truss would argue that she just needed more time to prove herself as leader.
I am a fighter and not a quitter.
That went well. So it now begs the question as to what has lasted longer than Liz Truss's time in number 10. Well, I can tell you that. In 2016, Sam Allardyce lasted 67 days as England manager. A block of Stilton cheese takes 9 weeks to mature, unlike Boris Johnson. What's next for Liz Truss? Do you think she deserves a Caribbean holiday like Boris Johnson?
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. It's obvious, isn't
my
it?
God.
She's heading down under. There'll be Bush Tucker trials pretty damn soon for Liz. It's a really interesting question because the thing about Liz was she got to that position where Gordon Brown arrived at and then Theresa May. And when you're finished in politics, it's not when everybody's furious with you. It's not when everybody's shouting, you've got to go, you're useless. It's when everybody starts feeling sorry for you. And that happened to Gordon Brown, it happened to Theresa May, and it's happened to Liz Truss. I get the feeling that she's very broken by this, and I suspect she might retire from politics. I mean, she's the MP for one of the Norwich constituencies, isn't she? I just don't see any kind of future for her, and she must be thinking of some other way forward in life.
But if there's anything we've learned from the past few weeks, it's that anything can happen. 17 days ago, Grant Shapps was told, you're not up for my cabinet. Now he's in. Boris Johnson was left because everyone hated him, and now he might be back. So maybe in another 45 days, you might see the return of Truss.
I've got it. Boris will come back, he'll get the gig, and he'll appoint Liz Truss as his chancellor. Hey!
Wow. Look, I think we've had one Trexit. We don't want to have another one. And all I would say is that if you've learnt anything from what Liz Truss did, don't pick the words of Peter Mandelson to identify how you're going to say. I mean, how did she do that? But also, I don't feel too sorry for her.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because she is going to get £115,000 a year at taxpayers' expense for having been Prime Minister. And regardless of whatever else, she will have certain trappings of office that she's experienced that maybe many of us won't have done. And she'll probably have one of those little portraits at the top of, the stairs in number 10.
Oh, God. Don't feel sorry
for her. And the Carlton Club,
Do not feel sorry for her.
Do you feel sorry for her?
No, not one tiny bit. It's a product of her own making. Look, Deadwood lasted longer on X Factor than Liz Truss lasted.
Yeah, they are.
They're also
10.
more financially astute, I think.
They are. And
I think their economic plans are more credible.
they
to
were,
be
yeah.
absolutely
Yeah,
honest.
100% Jedward for a coalition of less chaos,
See,
arguably.
I think, Kevin, what you've said there is interesting. I don't think actually people are at the stage where they do feel sorry for Liz Truss. I think they're so angry about their mortgages going up by £600 a month that people are raging, pure raging with her. But it is going to be interesting because, look, she's not blessed with oratory skills, as we have discussed on the show.
True.
Is she going to be able to command those? I mean, would you pay £100,000 to listen to a speech by Liz Truss?
Well, no, of course I wouldn't. I wouldn't give her 50p.
Probably because it would be
was
over in 89 seconds.
When she turned up at the podium today, it looked like someone was in her earpiece, if she'd had one, just going, smile, Liz, smile. And she looked completely deranged, and she has for 50
She's so robotic, though, isn't she? I mean, that I'm a fighter, not a quitter. You can just see what that was. It was her useless comms team and her saying, what am I going to say in Prime Minister's questions? I know, let's come up with this slogan.
It's such
and
a
it was
stupid
pathetic,
slogan because
wasn't it?
Peter
I'm a
Mandelson had to
fighter,
resign twice. Like, he was a failed politician, so it wasn't even an accurate, it wasn't even a good clarion call. But the one thing I would like to see her maybe go on is, and Nicola, you will be fond of this podcast, Elizabeth Day has a fantastic podcast called How to Fail, and I feel that Liz Truss could do an extended episode on that.
She would be absolutely amazing on that podcast.
So what do you think she'll do?
I've just spent the whole evening wondering what she's doing right now. Has she had a takeaway? Is she with her her kids? Is she having one last run around Chequers? Like, what does...
Yeah, I would book a weekend at Chequers before I
Yeah, mate, last
Party.
weekend.
Yeah.
Last
Party.
weekend at
Do you know what
Let's all
should
go down
hap-
to Chequers and send the cameras down.
What should happen is she just carries on working as an MP and learns from her mistakes.
Or go to the Caribbean.
Okay,
That's the thing.